because it's confusing and it's murky, and this adds a fucking layer. And then, okay, so imagine on top of the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum and the 10% on energy, you add 100% tariff on the car industry, like
which
you're
stops
saying.
the car part. Yeah, so that just
That
stops the
fucks
car
it up.
industry.
It seems like we're in for a fight, right? Like
What's the
tariffs are
fight?
coming, right?
The
We're in for
U.S.
with the US, right?
Yeah.
So tariffs are here, aluminum, steel, 25% tariffs. And I don't know about you, TK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think we talked about this at all yesterday at breakfast, but every conversation I've had, except for with you at breakfast yesterday, and maybe we did talk about this, is
We had a lot of
about
stuff to talk
what
about.
the fuck tariffs are going to do to the real estate market, right? What are they going to do? And how long are they going to last, and what's the repercussions going to be from this big bad fight that we're like charging into, it seems. I mean, all these people you're talking about, I think, are canvassing on we're going to fight back, right? We're not going to appease them. Poilievre's not. Well, Poilievre was, I guess, originally planning to appease him, and then of late, I think he's tariffing back like dollar for dollar, just like everybody else. But this is major, major,
Well, he
major,
doesn't have a
major.
leg to stand on right now, so it doesn't matter. He can say whatever he wants. He's got to win the election first. But the tariffs right now, so today's talk, so today is, we're recording on Wednesday, February 12th. Just so you guys know, we got to talk
Because
like
we're
this
out
now.
to lunch, yeah.
By the time we get out, by the time it comes on Sundays, we don't know what could happen. So now they're talking about the automotive tariffs. And you've got basically all the automotive companies in the States basically saying if he does this, which he's talking 50 or even 100% tariffs on automotive parts. So they're basically saying, hey, if he decides to do that and we've got tariffs on auto parts, it's just like shut down Central.
Well, hold
And it's
on,
like,
forget that. The aluminum and the steel is like in now, isn't it?
yeah,
Like
that's
he's
already done.
signed that one,
That
right?
one's in. Yeah.
But that's pretty major. I don't think people really understand
Yeah, it was
how much.
$20 billion a year cross border, like from Canada to the States.
But Canada's like a major player in the whole aluminum game, and
Hmm.
the States gets the majority of their aluminum from us, and we
Yeah.
ship like basically all of ours to them.
Yeah.
Like that alone should send some kind of ripple throughout things, right?
Well,
And
it
should
makes things more expensive immediately for American home builders, that's for sure.
that's the
Alberta's
problem,
affected
right?
big time. Ontario, you got places like Windsor, Cambridge, obviously Hamilton, Steeltown, those type of places. Those are the places that would be impacted locally, right? If they have to cut jobs. So if American builders, whoever's buying steel and aluminum, if they decide that they aren't going to be able to purchase as much from the Canadian suppliers, which is the whole point of the tariffs to bring it back to American soil, then that would mean that those towns where those jobs exist would be affected pretty immediately.
Pretty immediately.
Yeah.
So I don't know what immediately looks like. In my head, they don't just stop buying stuff. Well, I guess some people
Well, look,
I
they
don't
have to. I mean, it's right away. I mean, the guy
I
who's
don't
maybe just about to get hired, he's doing his like onboarding, his training to give him his safety hat. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna be making big bucks over here. And then they're just like, you know what, Jim? We were gonna hire
we're
you,
gonna talk to
but
you.
you know what? It looks like we're gonna be having to be cutting back soon. So maybe right now, while we can
What?
still lay you off without any repercussions, you're just gonna have to go back home. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry you had to pay for those boots and the hard hat there, bye. But once things turn around, we'll give you a call. Okay,
Yeah. You're on the list.
have a great day.
You're at the top of the list.
Yeah, so that
Mm.
type of stuff I think would be pretty like immediate. I don't think that there would be any argument there that there's going to be impact,
So
but also
gone.
just the
That's a
total
lot though.
impact on the economy. I mean, just people, it's just like when people get bad ideas about recessions and all sorts of stuff, they just stop doing things. There's just fear in the market, so people are just like, hey, maybe we shouldn't hire those new people, maybe we shouldn't buy that new machine, maybe we shouldn't move to the bigger plant, maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't expand our operations, maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't open up that new business. So that takes a lot
Right.
of impact
And that's
out
the
of the economy.
trickle into the real estate market because really, while all this is happening, it seems like they're planning on flooding the market with like a ton of liquidity, right? However they can.
Hmm.
And they're going to lower interest rates for sure. And so we're going to be in this environment where it's like, oh man,
Back to the good old days.
well, but
Prices are
no,
going up, baby.
well, but no,
Darryl
because
said it.
no, that's not what I'm
You
saying. I
just
mean, I'm
said it. You
saying it.
said liquidity, and so everyone's got
I'm,
access to money.
but it's
Darryl
fighting.
Frankfort
It's
said
fighting.
prices are going back up.
It's fighting
Pumper.
against, but it's fighting against all of the other things that are pushing it down, like
Yeah.
unemployment, which seems to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Even though I don't even know how many people here that we don't even know that are even here that are spending money and doing all kinds of stuff and buying stuff. And I don't know. I
What are you
I'm
trying to
not
say,
saying
Daryl?
I don't know what I'm trying to say because it's confusing and it's murky and this adds a fucking layer. And then okay, so imagine on top of the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum and the 10% on energy, you add 100% tariff on the car industry, like
Which
you're
stops the
saying.
car part. Yeah. So that just
That
stops the
fucks
car
it up.
industry, which is
Yeah.
the first industry there was that like it's so reliant on Canada, US. That's the first industry that never had tariffs back like whatever it was 50 years ago. So that's like the first actual industry where they're like, hey, maybe we should do like this cross border way before NAFTA. And to me, it's impossible. There is no um, solution. It would take billions of dollars and decades before they could ever replace the Canadian supply chain. So like, I don't really think it's going to happen. I don't think. I think it's a threat. I think that it sounds good. Again, it's Wednesday, February 12th. I'm just basing my just opinion on the news that we've got today. I could be totally wrong tomorrow because we don't know. Trump is unpredictable, but I really have a hard time believing that one. And also he was targeting Canada in the beginning, and we got that 30-day pause because he was satisfied because we were protecting the border the same way that we already started before that meeting that he had with Trudeau last Monday. But now he's targeting the rest of the world. He's basically saying steel and aluminum
Everywhere. This is
anywhere
blanket. Yeah, this is
from
blanket
any country. So it's
across the
not
board.
specifically towards Canada. And so this automotive one is a whole new thing now, which is like, oh, this is specifically targeting Canadian automotives. He's like, they stole the automotive industry from America. And it's
Yeah,
like,
we
yeah, we
did.
did.
Yeah, we did. But you know what's
Give
crazy?
us
Like
Detroit.
we don't even have our own car company in Canada. Like we don't
No,
produce, there's no Canadian car company. It's not like, like
no.
all these little Asian islands have like these crazy car businesses and we have all the stuff here that you
We
need to
never
make
needed
it.
it. We never needed it.
Never needed
We
it.
never needed it. The
Never
market
needed
between
it.
in the between US and Canada is big enough for GM and Chrysler and Ford to have existed for this long, you know? But yeah, obviously now with new automotive makers, which really I think is only Tesla in Canada that owns a share, like has the share of the market like they do. There could be an argument for that, you know? Is there another automotive company that says, "Hey, no problem, we'll move into those automotive plants and we'll set up shop in Canada for Canadians." Unlikely.
Oh,
This
I
is
think
unlikely.
what's going to happen is look who's advising Trump too. It's Musk, right? The guy who just completely recreated the way that the assembly line and mass production works, right? With
Hmm.
Tesla. And so I wonder if, if you moved everything, if you were forced to make an investment now in a manufacturing plant, right? Because you just like, why would Ford stay in Canada now? They may as well just move their shit. And if they're going to be forced to make a plant, they can make these robotic plants that are like very automated and super efficient. And then they can take it a step further, even if they do it like Tesla does it, where they just cast one big part and like they make all their own parts and stuff. They don't have to rely on, like, this is a potential opportunity for these guys to kind of retool, rejig things, get more efficient, more effective, more profitable than ever before just by investing over there in the States. And so, like, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
think
a good
might
point.
happen.
It's a good point. I mean, it's forward thinking, shut down the industry like everything else.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever. you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.